Welcome to the launch of USQ Research Week 2015. This is a live stream event, so welcome to those on other campuses and online. In the spirit of reconciliation, the University of Southern Queensland recognises that it is situated on country for which the Jagera, Yugara and Yugarabal people have been custodians for many centuries and on which they have performed age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal. We acknowledge their living culture and unique role in the life of this region and offer our deep appreciation for their contribution to and support of our academic enterprise. Research Week is all about showcasing the various research interests and expertise that we have at USQ and assisting researchers in enhancing their research capabilities. There are 25 events, open houses, seminars, workshops, art and poster exhibitions, and all staff and students are invited to participate in these sessions. Of note is the Art of Research event that is occurring in the Toowoomba campus refectory throughout the week, showcasing the outcomes of research in the arts. USQ's award-winning author, Libby Connor, a recent recipient of the Queensland Premier's Award for a book, Warrior, will be featured, as will the work of Jennifer Wright Summers, artist in residence Eco Sciences Precinct in Brisbane. Research posters will also be on display. One event not to miss is the Pitch Club Challenge to be held in the Toowoomba campus refectory on Thursday evening, commencing at 5 p.m. Come and support 12 academic staff and research students pitch their research to a learned panel of judges. We also welcome Wiley & Co, who will be presenting the Better Future Award to the PhD student whose research has the most promising commercial potential. Without further ado, I officially launch our 2015 Research Week. Thank you and enjoy this exciting week.
I think that there's something for everybody this week. If you're a student just considering things that you might do in the future, if you're a beginning researcher, an early career researcher or mid-career researcher looking for new avenues for your research, ways to collaborate, there's certainly a lot on the table there. And now our research leaders, I think, should always have a good overview of what happens in this university when they're talking outside the university. Sometimes a little spark goes off and you say, we have a great team doing this, that and the other in the engineering space, in the health space, in the business space, pretty much everything you can think of. So this week is very much about bringing our researchers throughout the university up to speed on all the great things that are happening throughout the university.
I think the other thing too is what I hear going around at the university is that there's an awful lot of information that come through via emails, etc., and it's hard to keep track of what's sort of going on. I think what this week's really good if people can sort of focus and look at those particular events and get a real feel for it, and then going forward to be able to tailor their working life on at USQ to be able to spend time and pick up those sorts of things. I think one of the great successful things that you've put in place is the Shut Up and Write. And I dare say there's a lot of people actually don't know about that, and I think that's a wonderful sort of program. Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. Look, the average life expectancy of an email anywhere is about 10 seconds. I think most of us know that. So this is a chance to get up close and personal with some of the initiatives we've put in place. The Shut Up and Write is exactly as it says on the tin. It's where you get together, you shut up and you write, and it's overcoming the tyranny of the blank page. As people, someone who writes on a regular basis, getting that momentum going is the key, and keeping it going through a sort of peer support network is really important. So that's something we've patched into a national and indeed an international initiative. So you don't have to come face to face. It just happens at the same time each week, and we're hoping to see that grow. It's really about a peer support. So anyone who isn't involved yet would like to be involved. We really encourage people to come along, join that group, and in fact have your own little splinter groups happening wherever. The aim is for words to appear where they otherwise might not. And that's really a great challenge for all researchers, all writers.
And the other thing we've been doing actively this year and will continue next year is to bring eminent scholars and world-class researchers to USQ to interact with our researchers. And we've got several who've coincided, and we purposely have them presenting this week.
Yeah, one of the features of a vibrant research environment is to have people coming from around the world to share their expertise and to collaborate and to spark off new research initiatives. So our research giants and eminent visiting scholar scheme program has brought people from all around the world, and some of them are here this week from the University of California, from other universities within Australia, and they'll be sharing their expertise. You have to realise that in other instances you'd have to travel across the world at great expense to see these people. They're here on campus. Don't miss the opportunity. In fact, Yuri Simonek from the University of California ran a workshop the other day which would have cost $18,000 per person to attend. So we've got them here, and it's free access to these people.
And the other thing too, which people should be conscious of, that whilst there may be an eminent researcher that is not in your field, doesn't mean that you can't necessarily learn something from them. Just that the way that they approach research and talk about research and be able to take general sorts of questions, I think would be a great assistance to many researchers, irrespective of what discipline they may be in.
That's right, and in fact you may be surprised that there is opportunity for collaboration across disciplines that you hadn't really considered. I mean, as a psychologist, pretty much every research thrust at some stage needs input to look at the psychological aspects of what you're trying to do, whether it's climate change or green concretes or whatever. The technology is one thing, behavioural change of society is something else. So, if you're a statistician, there's often opportunities to collaborate, and just sometimes you'd be surprised at the synergies that are there that you hadn't thought about, and this is the chance to interact and to see what comes out of that.
And one of the events that I'm particularly excited about is Pitch Week. Researchers being able to articulate their research and the value of their research is something that is absolutely critical, not to win a pitch club competition, but being able to win grants, but also to be able to communicate to the outside world the value of the research that they do. And this is the second year that we've got this competition going. It's a type of competition that's held throughout universities throughout the world, and certainly throughout Australia as well. And it's a pretty hot field we've got this year.
Well, it certainly is. I think that those who participated last year learnt a lot. They've been spreading some of those lessons. If you think about it, if you were in an elevator with a billionaire who might fund your research, and you had 2 minutes to tell them why they should, would you pass that test? Academics generally are not very good at that. They can't encapsulate the essence of their research and the benefits it might bring to society in a very succinct way. So these 3-minute pitches, the Pitch Club Challenge is a way to hone those sorts of skills. The winners from our finals here, the two academics, will go forward to Sydney to a national final, and the research students themselves are competing for a prize put up by Wiley to get further training and a trophy, of course. So I think that what we're seeing here is that this sort of pitching initiative is building ahead of steam, and it's going to culminate in a great event on Thursday evening. So I really hope everyone comes to that one.
One thing I've always found is that researchers who are very successful in getting external funding are very good at those sorts of events, but are very good at being able to, within a short period of time, 2-3 minutes, in layman's terms, be able to very much articulate the research and the value that it is to the community or to industry as well. And I think getting that skill set throughout many of our researchers will be really, really key. And so even if a researcher's not involved in the program, to actually come along and see the Pitch Club and get a feel for what it is all about, I think will be very important.
Forgotten skill in a way. You conduct the research, you publish the research, but then you've got to promote it. You've got to promote it using social media. You've got to be able to promote it very quickly, very succinctly to anyone who cares to listen. And so really all of our researchers should be on the ball in that sense. And Thursday's a great opportunity to see others in action and hopefully learn from that.
Well, that's all I was going to say, but happy to take questions, and you and I could perhaps give some answers too if there's questions out there from anyone in the audience. Unless you want to say something.
Well, there is just one other thing, and that is that this year we've been running the Red Train initiative, and I think it's been successful, judging by the feedback we've received. But we're looking to have it bigger and better for 2016. And on Friday morning, we've got the next stops for Red Train, and everyone's invited along to give their feedback on what we've done so far. Make some specific suggestions for things that we could do better or things that we haven't thought of yet that we could implement for 2016. So we really hope that people will come along and engage in that session, and so that they feel that they're having their input in the design of our research training and development initiative, which is really important to us as a division, but also to the university as a whole. Particularly in the international space, because we often get a large number of high-quality international applicants, and we can only fund 2 from our government allocation. So last year we were able to provide another 12 of those, and we're hoping to do the same. But we're also looking at a more grander initiative once we get the whole of the university behind the idea, that we will, as a matter of course, make more fee scholarships available, both for domestics and internationals. We're not quite at the point where we can announce how many, but so that we're working really rigorously and vigorously towards making that a reality. Mark may have some more comments on that one.
Probably not on that, but the one thing that we always look to do is to encourage researchers when they apply for external funding to always consider the ability or the opportunity to include research high degree students in doing the grant work, and so that may be writing in a stipend, or if it's an international student, writing in the fees and a stipend for that particular student, so they can work at the university. And I think it's very key too as researchers to always consider to have a pipeline, or have groups of students, etc., that might want to come to their particular research program. So as different granting funding opportunities come up, they're able to engage and be able to write individuals into a particular grant, and that always strengthens the grant when you are able to always be able to name a particular student and their background, etc., particularly if they've got some research experience and some publications along those sorts of lines, will always strengthen a grant application.
I think one of the messages that comes through there is that all of our researchers should be proactive in trying to recruit research students into their line of research, both internally through our undergraduate cohorts and our honours cohorts and our taught masters courses. Try to get them into an HDR program and continue your own line of research. Looking for collaborations externally for co-funding on these things. So I think that the one key message is that in terms of research students, researchers must be proactive.
I can't emphasise that enough, Peter. I think there is a culture that we only worry about research high degree students, recruiting research high degree students when it comes around APA time in October each year. We really need to be very, very proactive, and the best people to recruit students and actively recruit students into the university are the actual academic researchers themselves. And as Peter said, either through the undergraduate programs within the university or externally. At the end of the day, to build a research program team, research high degree students are absolutely fundamental to that, and so it really does come down to those research leaders in the university to be incredibly proactive and to be able to promote that.